Hello again. Right, I'm back now with another updated version of my first world in Minecraft. This is later in the development cycle from the one I did in the previous video, and as you can see I have moved a lot of the storage chests out of the initial base, and this is because I've moved operations to a new base, a large castle around the corner. Now I've dug up a lot of the existing minecart tracks. You remember there was a track going off down here to another mine. I've dug all that up. There was another side to this base that I built, which I will, if I walk down through here into the mine, I've got a new minecart track which goes off to my new base. But if I just start walking down here and follow it a little bit, the minecart, I'll just pick that up for a minute. The minecart track goes off that way to the new base, but I've got a little extension to the old base down here, where again it was an attempt to start another mine, but I built a nice glass tunnel or a glass wall in the side of the mountain and lit it all up with torches, and it actually looks quite nice at night time. And again, this does provide quite a decent beacon to find my base back at night. So going back inside here, I have a staircase going up here. This is towards another like an observation deck at the top, where I've just got a glass roof and then some windows, and this is just so I can look out over the domain. Can't see anything at night obviously, but there's a little observation deck at the top here, and then the staircase going down, and then there's another staircase going down underneath here leading to another mine, which again wasn't really developed that much and it wasn't very successful. And there was a tunnel going across here again that never led to anywhere. So eventually I decided to abandon this first base and build a new base. I found a nice sort of area which I flattened out. So we will take the minecart ride from the old base to the new base. Obviously there's no real reason for this minecart track to still be here. There's no reason to sort of come back to this old base. I used to come back quite a lot to pick up stuff. As you can see, a lot of the chests and everything has all been moved to the new place, but there's not really any real reason to come back to this place now. So let's jump in the minecart and see if we can get on this track, and it'll take us all the way to the new base without getting interrupted by sheep or a pig or something. It's quite a long zigzaggy minecart track all the way to the new base, this one. Again, built by sort of laying down a few pieces of track, having a look at it on a map, laying down a few more pieces, seeing if I'm going in the right direction. Get out of the way, sheep, thank you. Get out of the way, cow. Oh, you little swine. Okay. Is that actually giving me enough impetus to get to the new base? Going forwards and backwards and past those boosters. Another booster there. I think I'll make it, you know. There we go. Into the castle. Now then, let's go down the stairs. Let me show you this castle from the outside, because now that it's just starting to get light. It's looking quite good. I've got a couple of lava towers. I think the one on the left there is slightly higher than the one on the right, but the idea is towers of lava that can provide a nice beacon so that we can see the place from a distance. I did a lot of building up and landscaping around here, an excuse to use up all the dirt blocks that I dug up, and the castle itself is rather large. It took quite a bit of building this. I must admit, while I was building this, I did actually pop the game back onto peaceful mode so that I could carry on building at night. I don't know if you'd call that cheating or not, but it did the job for me. The walls on this castle are actually double thickness. What I did was I built a wall. I've since filled it in with gravel, and then there's another interior wall. But what I discovered after I'd built this, before I filled it all in with gravel, I discovered that monsters were actually spawning inside the walls. And I'm walking around my castle thinking I'm nice and safe, and I can hear all these zombies and skeletons around, and I couldn't work out where they were coming from. And I eventually worked out that they were inside the walls. This is after I had covered all the floor with half slabs, because they don't spawn on half slabs. And I covered the ceiling. I built these nice staircases up in the turrets, and I covered the whole ceiling with half slabs as well, to stop the monsters spawning on the roof at night. And I could still hear the noises, and then I realised that they were spawning, they must have been spawning inside the walls. So I then went round and filled the walls in with gravel and stone, and then inside that turret I've still got a big empty space down there. There's another minecart track going off down here towards yet another mine, but I'll show you the mines I've got underneath the castle first. So on this turret down here, I've got a staircase that leads down to the second floor, and then another staircase that leads down to the ground floor. On the other turret there's one staircase that goes all the way up from floor to ceiling. I never really did get around to using these rooms on the second floor for anything very much, so I built this castle with 8 rooms and only used 1 or 2 of them. I think a lot of people find that they end up building a huge abode and don't use 3/4 of it. As you can see by this point, I'd ventured out into the nether, so I've got lots and lots of netherrack which I'm using as lighting. Right, let's head back down the stairs. If I can find the stairs, that's another. Another turret. So this is the centre of the castle. Here's the stairs down, and this was the initial main room. I'll try to get a little bit artistic. I built a sofa out of half stone, some bookcases, and this is my initial base of operations. I had lots of chests up here, and when I'm standing here I could reach all the furnaces, I could reach all the chests, and obviously lots and lots of tools and equipment, everything. Eventually I moved, there's a furnace back there, that's right. I moved everything, the storeroom, into the room next door. So, and I tried to have a go at doing a lava or netherrack floor. That didn't really work out too well. So I've got tons of coal, fair old amount of clay. If you play the game for long enough, you collect enough of everything that you can consider yourself to be a very sort of rich man, as it were. Yeah, cobblestone, meat. So this is my storeroom. Stroke forgery. Forge. And I had lots and lots of torches and everything down there, so that's the storeroom. One of these other rooms is down here. We had an entrance to the mine. Spiral staircase initially, which I then replaced with ladders going down. And then down here on this mine I started to get very, very organised actually with the base of the mine. Lots of tunnels going off left and right, not so many torches. I'm still in the habit of taking out torches and reusing them, but I have tunnels and then steps going up, tunnels diagonally opposite, more steps going up, more tunnels, and I've quite I mined this area quite extensively. So from having a few aborted efforts to start a decent mine underneath the previous base, I finally managed to get one going underneath this base. And eventually I found some dungeons and I turned them into some traps. I can't remember exactly where the dungeons are. I think if we follow our way around some of these tunnels we'll find an open space. There's a dungeon. I think that's actually a spider dungeon. I created this trap first and then realised that it doesn't work on spider dungeons, but there was another skeleton one around somewhere, so I did quite a fair amount of exploring underneath this castle and collected quite a few ores and everything that I could possibly need. Right, where's the way out again now? There we go, that's the way out. So that's a decent mine that I've got going on underneath the castle. By this stage I'm actually sort of felt like I was starting to get the hang of the game. So then after exploring underneath the mine, underneath the castle a little bit, I decided to explore more of the local area. And just walking straight out of the front door, I decided to build a bridge across the river. And then here's a little hut down which is another mine. Again, more of the same down there really. Off to the side of the castle I've got my farming area. And this is where I had my initial had a reed farm and a tree farm going here. Eventually I cut down the reed farm because I had far too many reeds, and this is before you could use them for anything much. You could only use them to make books and bookcases. There weren't any maps in the game back then, so there was no real reason to have so many reeds. So I had this was an enclosed tree farm, and then back over this side was a wheat farm, which again quite successful. Now then, at the back of the castle out here, I ended up building, there was a little tunnel out here that eventually leads down, and again this was built out in the middle of nowhere and then linked back to the main base afterwards. But as we follow this tunnel down here, we end up, and I think going down the ladders as well, we end up at the collection point for a mob trap. And if I stick it on normal, so this was a fairly standard mob trap that was like a 50 by 50 empty room with some canals leading down to a collection point. There we go, creepers already going down there, leading to a lava grinder. So I was able to build this mob trap and just stand at the end and collect all the loot. Now this tunnel led back out to where the nether portal brings me back. If I go into the nether, down through this portal, this way to the lava roller coaster. Yes, let's show you the lava roller coaster. If I go into the nether through this portal and then come back out through the same portal, it takes me back to you know, just outside the castle. So I ended up building a tunnel linking the two portals back together. This was, I think, a little glitch from when the nether was first introduced. Lava roller coaster this way, down the path. Okay. Not this portal, carry on. Okay. I've never fought and killed a ghast yet. I was always very good and very careful at trying to keep undercover in the nether. Yeah, you made it. Right. Now what I did out here was I came down here initially with a whole bunch of TNT. And I think I eventually knocked this down and actually made a proper minecart launcher with a button and a booster that released on some redstone, but that was in a later version of the world after this save. So let's just do the initial push the minecart and get into it, and then let's see if this roller coaster still works. Now I must admit I never really got a good view of this roller coaster on my old computer because it always used to slow down as it tried to load the chunks, and it's only really since I've got my new computer about a month ago that I've been able to enjoy this roller coaster as I built it, and even then only on this rolled back version of the game, because boosters don't work. Boosters don't work in the later versions. Now, I should have really stuck it back on peaceful mode. I know it was called a lava roller coaster, but I don't think the idea of having zombies and skeletons coming at you while you're riding the roller coaster actually adds to the experience. It was never designed to be a sort of, oh my god, you actually made it back out alive kind of thing. Here we go. Back to the start. So I came here initially with a whole bunch of TNT and just started having some fun with TNT, blasting a big hole in the ground, and eventually I decided to turn it into a roller coaster. So that's the only thing that's actually out at this part of the world, is this roller coaster. And again, it was built without any real sort of planning or forethought. I just built it down completely randomly until I got down to bedrock, and then decided to go round some lava and over some water, and then I realised that I could actually link it back up to the track that I came down on, and have it come back out in the same place. So there's my roller coaster. I think it took me an evening or two to build. And then as we come out from the portal there, I've got a couple more portals in the nether. I can't remember now where they actually bring me out to, so let's go back through this other portal and see where it brings us out. Now we've got one down here. Now again, this was intended to be another base of operations. Unfortunately, it's kind of brought me out right in the middle of absolutely nowhere at all. Nothing of any interest around here. Basically, nothing to see here. Move on. So I didn't really do very much apart from just build a hut around the portal. So that one leads me out to the roller coaster. So we come back this way, and there's another portal. Again, I can't remember where this one brings me out. Ah, now this one spawned a portal over the sea. So I ended up building a little tunnel back to a little pathway back to the base, back to land, and again built another hut. Never really did very much around here again either, although what I did realise later on was that this actually does lead back onto an area that I'd actually explored manually, because there was already torches and crafting table and whatever over there. So this portal didn't really bring me out into areas that I hadn't really explored before. So let's just head back to the main base and use the nether for quick transportation. Lots of guests out there, but fortunately I'm all enclosed. I can't see them, they can't see me. That's the way I like to keep it. think I did try and build a tunnel out there to explore different areas, but let's just head back to normal world. Now then, as I said, this brings me out. The portals didn't quite match up, so this brought me out in the middle of nowhere, and I eventually worked out that if I headed off in this direction, I ended up back at my base, at my castle, so I ended up eventually building a tunnel, covering it over, making a nice safe retreat back to the base from the portal. So I always go to the Nether through one portal and come back through another one. Now then, there was another tunnel going out down this way to the skelly spawner. Yes, I discovered as I wandered around a skeleton spawner dungeon that was above ground level, and I eventually made this tunnel to get to it. There we go, and we should have, I'll stand here for a minute. We should have a skeleton appear, and then we shall get some bones and arrows out of him. There we go, that's working quite nicely, so don't need to stay here for any longer than that really. This world was actually generated quite a while ago. This was all pre-biomes, so the whole world was initially all the same biome, and as I wandered around I discovered another biome had been created with, there was a snowy biome, and as I take the minecart ride over this bridge, you'll see the rather abrupt border between the biome created in some old code and then the biome created in some newer code. In fact, no, up here is just a observation tower. That's the minecart we're going to take in a minute over that bridge. This is an observation tower where I can just stand up here and watch the mobs. Let's get out onto the roof. There we go. And again, over the bridge, which was made out of wool at the sides here. I think I got the idea for this bridge from one of the videos I've seen on YouTube of the Minecraft Intercontinental Railway, and I never actually got around to finishing that bridge, it just stops. But we have, I think the skeleton spawner was kind of down there somewhere. We just have a large bridge going over the land, and you'll see down here a very abrupt border where the snow just starts. So that's what biome differences look like when you've got stuff generated in one version and stuff generated in another. So I wandered out as far as this, and I built a tunnel all the way down to again create another new mine. And again here we have another mine that looks pretty much like the initial mine underneath the castle. But I just wanted to wander far enough out to see some new terrain, which eventually I did. And I'm trying to think now whether there's anything else in this world that I can talk about, or is that it? This could be all there is. Ah, no, come back. This is one thing I didn't really like about this minecart system. Now, has that actually boosted it all the way up to the top, or will it actually come back down? There it is, it's coming back down. If you give it a push and then don't get in it fast enough, you miss the train. There we go, and then that gives me a boost all the way to get from level 10 or so all the way back out the top. So there we have it. That was my first Minecraft world. I can't remember at what point I actually abandoned this world. Oh yeah, there's one room down here that I'm not talked about. This is where I had a go at trying to build a minecart station. Tried to follow various other tutorials that I'd seen on YouTube, and having a Pez dispenser and redstone buttons and a pressure plate that actually called the minecart and whatever, but the space that I was using to build the station in didn't always match up with the space that they used on the tutorial video, so nothing ever quite fitted. And of course everything was being changed or improved behind the scenes, and then the boosters stopped working, and I thought, well, if I carried on building that I would never end up using it, or I'd have to change it all eventually, so I just abandoned the train station idea eventually. And so that's about it. I don't think there's anything else major that I've built. I do like those lava towers. I might do those in another world again somewhere.